Who here could get excited about the idea of writing the next subtle art of not giving a fuck? What about learning in simple terms why we learn through stories more easily than pure facts? And would you like to learn how to turn your lived experience, your expertise, into a book that shifts minds, markets, and changes lives for the better? Hi, my name is Rose. I'm founder of Voice to Page, and this is Intro to Story Psychology. You could be anywhere right now, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the moonlight, out with friends, relaxing, but instead you're here, investing in yourself, which tells me that you, like me, are dedicated to learning a craft skill that can change people's lives. Take a moment to pat yourself on the back, because most people just scrolled straight past because they don't have the drive we do. Now, something really interesting happens to the brain when we listen to a story and conjure up images. When you hear a fact, your conscious brain, it acts like a bouncer. It decides if this fact deserves to come into the bar of your brain and make changes. But present that bouncer with a pretty dress or a nice picture, and it allows it to go straight on through to subconscious. Not only that, when we are picturing something, it lights up the same part of the brain that lights up when we are doing something. Now, our experiences shape our identity. And when you light up this part of the brain that says, hey, I am doing this thing, you can shape somebody's identity. You can change the way they think. The brain is a physical structure. It's not just this nebulous idea, and this lighting up of the brain when we're thinking of pictures, that has been mapped. When you're experiencing a story, whether it's reading, whether it's listening, whether it's watching, your brain interprets it as something I am doing. Story then becomes evidence that a different way of living is possible. That's powerful, isn't it? So you can see that information delivered as story can have an enormous impact, but you can't scale confusion. You do still have to organize this information in the right way. So today we are going to cover 3 main parts. Part 1 is what story does to your brain. Part 2 is the science of why this works. And part 3 is a tool you can use immediately to implement into your writing, you can use today and forever. Sound good? Would you like all of that? And would you like it in under an hour? Now, around about now, you're probably thinking, where do I get the authority to talk about this stuff? So I'll tell you a little bit about me. In 2020, my life fell apart just like everybody else's. And I escaped through story. When I ran out of stories to read, I started writing. Now, there are 2 things that you need to know about me. One is that I learned through doing. So I didn't go to uni and learn about the idea of writing before actually putting pen to paper. I just started writing. And 6 months later, I had a 120,000 word book. Like, we are talking about like real escapism there. That was my day in, day out. And the second thing you need to know about me is that I don't like doing things badly. So I sent my manuscript off to a professional editor, and she sent back a detailed report of the things that my writing needed to get up to scratch. That was when I started learning. I took her exact feedback and learnt about every single thing that she said that I needed to know. I read books, I did courses online, and the internet is fantastic. If you have the right direction, you can learn anything. I wrote 6 fantasy books before moving on to nonfiction, and then applied the same learning method there. But I took it a step further because I wanted to know why books like Atomic Habits and The 5-Second Rule and The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People changed minds. I wanted to know why they were so popular. So I started looking into the psychology around that. I have the authority to speak to you about this because I became a professional author without going to university. When I did go back to uni, I still hadn't learned anything 2 years later that I hadn't already taught myself, so I dropped out. And I continued my university. I hone in on what's relevant. I hone in on what's usable. I practice that craft, and then I teach it to you. Meaning that I have the secret sauce that is going to speak straight to the subconscious of your reader's brain. I'm going to teach you why it works. I'm going to teach you what to do, and I'm going to teach you how to apply it. But so that you can get the most out of this workshop, let's put 3 agreements in place. Agreement number 1. A closed mind is like a closed door. Nothing is coming in and you're not going anywhere. So can we agree to keep an open mind? Agreement number 2. If I give you my full attention, can you give me your full attention? Distractions down, phones down. We're in this together for the next half an hour, okay? And number 3, if you're not having fun, you're probably bored. If you're bored, you're not learning anything. So for the duration of this workshop, can we agree to have fun? Yes? We can? Put your hands up in the air and shake them around because we're about to get started. I love this stuff. Thanks for being here.